Alright, then getting there, YouTube. Another part to the series of the Primal run I'm on. Well, like I said, there's probably going to be a ton of videos on this. This is one of the bags. If you look back in the previous video, it had a big, huge clump in it. You just slowly knead this stuff right in the bag. And it breaks up. Now the big clump I did have in here, I had to use a little gentle persuasion on to get it busted up. I used my child's attention getter. Yes, I do use that on my children. I prefer just a good swift kick to the arse or a good pop to the back of the head. The laws are kind of funky and say, no, you can no longer do that. I still apply a swift boot to the buttocks. I'm guilty of that. But if I use that board, trust me, they wouldn't be able to walk for a while. Anyway, back to the Primal. You just need this stuff. Oh, there, see, there one. And it busts up kind of cleanly. And you knead it back and forth. I think this has been, this one chemical here, whatever it is, it's the large 2-scoop. It's been the worst of the bunch. That's pretty fine yet. This gets a little, but it's not nearly as bad as the other one. Of course, we all know charcoal. It stays pretty good. Now, I suggest again, I never want to lead you astray from what disclaimer now. You're using this Primal, you use it at your own discretion. If you're mixing it, you mix it at your own discretion. Eye protection. Never touch the actual product with your bare hands. Always use a scooper. Always mix gently. Never use a mortar and pestle, plastic or glass. Now going on to the chemicals as they go into my mixer that I made. Just basically, talked about this in a previous video. It's a laundry cap I cut the top off of and just repurposed. It should work great for this practical use, for this practice. I'm showing you everything live as it happens. So if I get a flash over, you'll see it. I won't edit, I won't cut it out. I do all my stuff live. Keeping up with the directions. One scoop of the large, that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to do a small batch. Of course, the directions do state that you do this stuff in small batches. One scoop of the large. And probably not going to hurt to go ahead and, there it is. Knock the excess off. Yes, you never want to jam like that. when you've got the other chemicals in there. I figured that one, it's not going to hurt me. Gonna go over to the other bag that asked for the large scooper. I'm just wiping the excess off of the scooper with my fingers. So the chemicals don't mix in the bag. I need 2 of these. I'm going to, again, mix those 2 chemicals before I add the other 2 chemicals. I know. Somebody's gonna say that's not what the directions say. They say to mix them all. Like I said, I choose, therefore I am responsible. You choose, therefore you are responsible. I'll run my dog and pony, you run your dog and pony, and we'll get this figured out one way or another. Okay, now I'm going to add my small scoop. Whatever that one is. I think that's ground glass. But I do not know. And just lay the scoop across the top of that. And yes. That's kind of why I chose that cap. Because I can lay that right across the top of it and not have to go searching for it. I'm going to add the last of the chemical, which is calling for 1 small scoop. Yeah, that definitely smells like sulfur. Go ahead and knock off the excess in the scoop. Now you gotta remember, this is now, as it's being mixed, will turn a light gray in color. And I am using the actual, where those ridges are on the side of the container for the measurement of the laundry. I'm using that to actually kind of mix it. Roll that over. Try to catch it one time. If it don't fall out, then I'm not going to worry about it. But it'll be a light gray in color. And again, it says don't touch bare hands. You choose, therefore you are responsible. I'm going to go wash my hands now. Got my hands washed. Yes, I poked it around a little bit with my fingers. I felt that was a little safer than this cap or this mixer. Now, to get the chemical from here, I probably should have done a double batch of that to the caps. They say you use a third of the small scoop to put in the cap. But from all the forums I've been on, from several of the other YouTubers on YouTube here, they suggest you use half of a scoop because that provides a better spark for your percussion. So that's what I'm going to attempt. Yeah. Getting that in there is not as difficult as they make it out to be. Like I said, I'm going to do several of the different cap styles I have. The Dr. Pepper can, the Monster can, and the copper. I can tell you right now, the copper was easier for me to see to dump this in than the other two. Just on that alone, I think the copper is really gonna pan out to be a far better recipient of this stuff than the other two. But as I stated before, I am using all of them because I want to give an honest review of which is better. Now there is some waste when you use this stuff. The scoop's not the best. Oops, well, hey, that worked. Put that back in. Like I said, you're using about half a small scoop per cap. copper is a lot easier to see. And it just seems to mate with this scooper a little better than the other two do. The aluminum isn't doing too far of a bad job. I'm getting some of it down in there. The copper just meets up a bit better. I think I'll stick with the copper sheeting. But like I said, I'm going to give an honest review. So, the only way to actually do that is to do them all. Looks like one batch of this stuff will catch 30 cats or so. Yeah, I would say about about 30 caps or so if you're filling it to the half level. We'll be back. For the second part is where I add the liquid. We'll be back.